Hey, what's up guys, it's Keeps here, and we're back with another video, and it is of course a tactical recreation. If you follow me on Twitter, you will know that this one's been coming on for a while now. We've had some successful and unsuccessful testing with it, but the finished article is certainly not something to be frowned upon at all, and we're really excited to bring this one to you. Um, as you can see with the league, 17 games played, 14 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses. But the most thing that we're proud about with this is this man here. He's well known by now. He's a great striker, and as you can see, on the 24th of December 2019, so just halfway through the season, we're into the winter break in Germany, and in 26 games, Erling Haaland has scored 41 goals with 27 in 17 games in the Bundesliga. Now, if that doesn't say that the tactics getting the best out of him, I don't know what does. We focused on the front four of Borussia Dortmund being very fluid and interchanging wings and with Royce through the middle and things like that. And we certainly focused a lot on making that as realistic as possible. And we feel we've done that really well. And the end product being Haaland getting lots of chances, and he takes them almost every time. Um, the Super Cup he won us against Bayern Munich, and we couldn't have been happier. So if you look at some of the results here, a lot of them are big wins. There's been a very little, 1-0s, um, or two, even 2-0s have been quite rare. A lot of games have scored, 3, 4, 5 goals in, and we've been really proud of that. I think that was a really good game as well, just to focus in on one. Didn't have all the possession, but lots of chances, and 89th minute win was always a good one, especially in a cup game. So it's been really good to test in, and I'll just take you into it now. So as you can see, well, everyone's on holiday just now, so it doesn't look great, but it's a 4-2-3-1. Two sitting midfielders as a pivot with it, so of course your deep line playmaker on defensive. Plays wonderful in real life, just the same in the game. And the newest addition of Jan Yemi Chan sitting next to him as a box to box, just giving the support up top. And he's been okay. I wouldn't say he's been a standout, but he's been decent. I would say that. I mean, when you look at the average ratings in the midfield, it certainly is the lowest at 7.17. But when you've got players like that, got the quality of Sancho, 9 goals, 8 assists, and Hazard, 6 games, 7 assists. You can't really compete with that as a midfielder in terms of your output. So as you can see, it's a custom tiki taka. Now I know what some of you will be thinking. Bayern or Dortmund, sorry, don't play with a tiki taka system. They play, a bit more direct, kind of counter attacking football. They don't, and they're more solid at the back. They don't really play tiki taka. So I felt going with this just to get that fluidity between, that front four. Um, Team fluidity does stay flexible, mainly because we wanted to shoot up the defence a bit and make it as solid as possible, especially with including Schultz and Hakimi in the attack. Which can I just say, Schultz hasn't been great with Sancho in the wing, but however, with Hakimi, I mean, 14 assists in 25 games has been excellent for a fullback. So you can see where Haaland's goals come from with Hakimi's crosses. But attacking mentality as Dortmund always are, you very rarely see them sit back and try and soak up pressure or do anything like that. Maybe sometimes against the bigger teams, but it's not really in their mentality, more in how they're being forced to play. So looking at in possession, very similar to a tiki taka. Play out of defence. Instead of very short passing, we've got slightly shorter, just to give that more directness going forward. And standard width rather than narrow, just because of using those wingers and allowing them interchange freely. The only difference we've changed in terms of the approach play really is the overlap left and right. We really wanted to get those fullbacks, into the game and making a lot of changes. So that's why we went with that, and low crosses just because we don't have a lot of height up front other than Haaland. So low crosses means that we've got a better chance of getting more players on the ball. In transition, standard, distribute centre halves quickly, counter and counter press, but we do have not extremely urgent, which is mostly set in a tiki taka, because this season especially Dortmund do press high. They do really press high and they do have a high line. However, their actual pressing isn't as much seen this season as it has been in previous years, with them preferring to sit back a little and just get into a more solid shape before they decide to counter press, so that they aren't getting caught as much. Standard width and offside trap just to suit the game more than anything. I'm aware they might play slightly different, but as you know by this time, we're a few tactics in. I'll always, dedicate my time in bringing the tactic to life. However, since it isn't Football Manager, I wouldn't bring it to you as if it, emulated how the tactic plays out exactly, but didn't win you games. I don't see a point in bringing that. So it's adapted for the game, and we're using a custom tiki taka for it. There's certain things that we had to do, such as the much higher defensive line and the offside trap, which just works well, especially when you lose the ball and get hit on counters. But the tactic has been performing excellent. We have used mentoring to get all these links up over the first half of the season, and it's worked really well, especially the fact we've been fairly lucky with injuries. In previous ones, we've used the editor quite a lot to sort injuries for key players, but in this one, with the squad depth that they have, we didn't feel the need to, but we have been really lucky with the fact that these players haven't played an awful lot. I think maybe Julian Brandt getting the most game time out of everyone, and even at that, he's not been great. Piszczek's been very good in his overall performances, but the fullbacks have been performing very well, getting a lot of key passes in as well. So I've certainly been pleased with that. So we'll look at the match analysis. We'll look at the previous. In fact, we won't look at the previous game. What we'll look at is the RB Leipzig game, because it was a really good game to watch. So as you can see, there is negatives. In this new match engine, there's never going to be a tactic that's perfect. It's a very strange match engine compared to the recent years in Football Manager. Probably one of my favourites in all honesty, because you can just get certain tactics just right, rather than there being a certain way to play. I feel like it's a lot more mixed now. But there is some negatives. Long range shots, we do take a lot of them. Total goals, touches to goals ratio, and opposition's penalty area, is pretty low. But it shows to me that we're, as I say, it's a positive and a negative, but we are getting a lot of touches in the penalty area. I suppose having only one of the 86 touches in the game into a goal, but maybe when you compare that to your Hoffenheim one, your touches to goals scored, we converted 81 touches into 4 goals, so they're all within the penalty area. So it does have certain downsides to it. I think the low tempo suits that more than anything, but as I say, to make it work in the game, we had to play a certain way, and I felt higher tempo just wasn't right for how they wanted to play in terms of the players, especially Haaland. As you can see, we haven't really touched on it yet with the player roles with Haaland as a poacher, rather than in the first half of the game he was more suited to pressing forward before he gets a slight upgrade in the January update. I would have definitely said higher tempo to bring him into the game more and maybe push him a little bit forward. However, with him being a poacher and his pace and everything's really good, he runs off the back of the defender better than almost anyone in the game really. So 41 goals in 26 games. The only interesting thing is, even though he's a poacher, 0 assists in 26 games as a striker is a bit poor. However, if he's going to be bringing 41 goals, I can't see many people complaining. But as I said, we have scored a lot of goals with this tactic. Looking at the Bundesliga, we'll just take a further look. We have scored the most, but and we haven't conceded the least. Wolfsburg have been a team that have been really good so far. Sitting in second, they've conceded the least by 9. Almost conceding 12 and 17 is not too bad, especially when you're scoring 49, which is almost double everyone in the league. So we can't complain too much with that. Anyway guys, that's been the Dortmund tactic. As always, the download will be down in the description below. This has been a really enjoyable one. It's been a great one to watch. Some of the games have just been terrific. Scoring all those goals, especially in Champions League. We look at competitions. Probably better looking this way actually, just to see the group. We came second, but 3-5 now, and then 3-0 against Valencia. Drawn at home to Liverpool, losing away to Valencia. That was an instant result, and away to Liverpool was also an instant result. The home draw wasn't. The Applewell games are both instant results. However, the Valencia 3-0 was a really good one to watch. The reason instant result, if you are interested, is mainly because of just trying to get through the games a bit quicker. I'm more interested in if it will work in the domestic league, because at the end of the day, most games that you play are in the league. So if it can work in that and be solid in that, that's when I'm happy to release it. And we've done that pretty well, if not perfectly well, in this. 41 goals, and I think it's 27 in the league. It's just mind blowing for the striker. But as I say, that's been us, guys. Download will be in the description, and I can't wait to bring you a new one. If you follow me on Twitter, I've been really pleased with the results from having released these tactics. So there will be another 2 coming out over the weekend, most likely Setien, and maybe another little surprise one in there. But I'll let you have this one maybe a day or two, and then I'll release the other 2 just to show you a bit of thanks from the support that you've shown me so far. So I've been Keebs. I'll see you next one. But for now, cheers.